Chapter 8, Thinking in the Certain Way. Thinking in the Certain Way. Turn back to chapter 6 and read again the story of the man who formed a mental image of his house, and you will get a fair idea of the initial step towards getting rich. You must form a clear and definite mental picture of what you want. You cannot transmit an idea unless you have it yourself, right? You have to have it yourself before you are able to transmit it, right? You must have it before you can give it. And many people fail to impress thinking substance because they have themselves only a vague and mystic concept of the things they want to do, to have, or to become. It means that they don't really have a clear picture of it, or maybe they think it's some sort of woo-woo or something that is unrealistic. It is not enough that you should have a general idea for wealth to do good with, in quote. Everybody has that desire. So they're trying to say that it's not just good enough for you, for someone to ask you, why do you want to be rich? And you say, because you want to do good with it, or because you want to help people. They're trying to say that that desire, everybody has it, and it's not enough for you to actually just want to be rich because you want to do good with it. It is not enough that you should have a wish to travel, see things, live more, etc. Everybody has such a desire. Everybody has those desires also. If you were going to send a wireless message to a friend, you would not send the letters of the alphabet in their order. Just because your friend knows how to read does not just because your friend knows how to read does not mean you should just send them a bunch of alphabets and then expect them to arrange the words by themselves. And let them construct. Okay, let me take that again. If you were going to send a wireless message to a friend, you would not send the letters of the alphabet in their order and let them construct the message for themselves. Nor would you take words at random from the dictionary. Nor would you take words at random from the dictionary. You would send a coherent sentence, one which meant something. When you try to impress your wants upon substance, remember that it must be done by a coherent statement. It means that you have to be clear enough. It's not just, okay, I want to be rich just because I want to help people. I want to do good in the world. That is not enough. That's what it's trying to tell you. You have to be clear, crystal clear. You must know what you want and be definite. You can never get rich or start the creative power into action by sending out unformed longings and vague desires. Emphasis on coherent and unformed. And by coherent, they mean it has to make sense. It has to make sense, not just a vague desire. Go over your desire just as the man I have described went over his house. See just what you want and get a clear mental picture of it as you wish it to look when you get it. This is where scripting and imaging actually comes into play. There's this thing that I keep saying that most of all these manifestation book, I don't care how old it is, but as long as it's not written 100 years ago, most of all this manifestation book got their roots from this book, because people are now finding words for the things that are actually described in this book, like the mind movie. There's this thing that Dr. Joe Dispenza says that if you want to manifest your future, one of the things that you need to do is to do some sort of mind movie, which involves you actually sitting, and or even you don't even have to sit, just replaying a particular scene, not a particular scene, replaying the scenes of your future in your mind as you go about your day, live in it. And mind movie, that's just the basic. Go over your desire just as the man I have described went over his house. See just what you want and get a clear mental picture of it as you wish it to look when you get it. That clear mental picture you must have continually in your mind. As the sailor has in mind the port towards which he is sailing the ship, you must keep your face towards it all the time. You must no more lose sight of it than the steersman loses sight of the compass. This reminds me of the verse in the Bible when Jesus was walking on water and he was approaching his disciples, and his disciples were like, they're very scared. And Peter, being the most outspoken, was like, Master, if it's you, bid me to come to you. And then Jesus asked him to come to him, and he was coming to him, and everything was going well. Oh. He was coming to him. When he was coming to him, he was focused, all his attention was on Jesus, and he was able to actually walk on water and come to Jesus. But the moment he turned his face to the side, he started to sink. So that is actually a lesson there for us, that once you want to manifest anything, keep the mental image in your mind. Don't worry about what is happening in the prayer moment, because it's going to actually instill fear inside of you and make you overthink, just as Peter was overthinking when he was walking on water. He was like, oh my goodness, I'm walking on water. And then the moment he started thinking outside of what he wanted, which was to walk on water, he started to sink out of fear, and he was terrified and started calling Jesus to help him. And Jesus stretched forth his hand, and then he helped him out of. The point is, do not worry about when you have that desire and you're in the process of manifesting. Don't pay attention to anything that does not concern that future that you're trying to build. Don't pay attention to the bills that you have to pay that you have not been able to pay. If you're trying to manifest a better health, you don't have to pay attention to the fact that you haven't recovered yet. Stuff like that. The point is, keep in mind the mental picture you want and focus solely on it. That clear mental picture you must continually have in mind, as the sailor has in mind the port towards which he is sailing the ship. It is not necessary to take exercises in concentration. Say it's not necessary for you to take exercises in concentration, nor to set apart special times for prayer and affirmation, nor to go into the silence, nor to do occult stunts of any kind. These things are well enough, but all you need is to know what you want and to want it badly enough so that it will stay in your thoughts. Remember that this book we're reading has nothing to do with occult, it has nothing to do with mysticism, it has nothing to do with anything that has to be woo-woo. This is actually proven science, because the energetic fields that you generate from the feelings that you feel, which originates from your thoughts, is actually measurable. Like literally, it can be measured. So the concept in this book has nothing to do with occult, has nothing to do with mysticism or anything that is not is out of the ordinary. This is an actual science. So you don't have to do anything extraordinary about it. Like maybe you have to go about your day meditating and fasting and praying, or maybe acting a certain way that you don't used to act before, stuff like that. You don't have to do any of that. Go into the silence. You don't have to do it, or nor to do occult stunts of any kind. You don't have to do any of that. All you need to do is to just keep your desire in mind, and just keep it in mind. That's just what this book is trying to say. Spend as much of your leisure time as you can in contemplating your picture. You have to script. And when you're scripting, you have to be vivid. You have to be, and when I mean vivid, you have to be